just talking about this when we were talking to Paul yesterday. This is called Stargirl.
This is a song about her. She said, careful boy, it'll take a while. I'll have to tell you in my style. She began her story 1,000,000 miles on a distant little star. My daddy was a dreamer, a teacher and a music man. He said, I'll raise my kids the best I can. That's all that I can do. But sometimes things don't turn out right. We lost my mom in the morning light. And with that he seemed to lose his fight. But he gave this little girl his soul. That's how she began the story that she told. And she said, I met a good old boy, he was hard to beat. While I was tending bar to make ends meet, he swept me right off my little feet to the jukebox rock and roll. But I wanted more than to be his life, and I wanted less than to be his wife. You know, something told me to run for my life. Maybe Mexico. That's the way that stories often go. And she said, I met myself a rock star. He had hair that danced to a rock star beat. 2 weeks of love were oh so sweet. But then the party took its toll. He said, let me take you out of here. We'll tour the world, girl, never fear. I said, no, that's not what I want to hear. So he took my cat, but not my soul. At least that's the way I heard that story told. There are little things that we forgot, those little things that we are not, those little things that won't get us very far. Those little things that we forgot, those little things are gone. And yet those little things are things that make us who we are. Said that little girl who came from a distant little star. Then she said, I met myself a mountain man, a bear. They said he was bigger than. Little one, he called me. He and I were one. Now before the rages drove him down, and the fighting drove me into town, through my loving arms I took him down, carried him a son. Well, at least that's the way I heard that story spun. Then she said, I married me a painter man. He said, I'll raise your son the best I can. So I put that bottle down, and I thought the world was good. His life was hard, I understood. And the demons grabbed him like I was afraid they would. But I knew he did the best he could. That's all he could do. Stories go as stories often do. Now she said my daddy gave me his blessed soul. My good old boy gave me rock and roll. My rock star dreams to call my own. Too young to see the light. My mountain man gave me another life. And my painter man made me his loving wife. All of this in my short life. I sure ain't no rolling stone, she said. Here's to you my story I've told, she said. Now pack your bags, we're going, she said. Off to Mexico. A long story, but long stories are worth telling. Right there. Yeah. Just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. That's because she's got so many stories to tell. Those are all true stories.
We still haven't been to Mexico, have we?
No, we haven't.
Not
We
yet.
haven't.